the power like Big Chuck.
What's the status, 3?
I'm good, just making the world a better place, that's all.
Check it, yo, I always be analyzing to see who's fake. People acting Janice, running around two-faced, talking behind my back until they put in their place. You're a 2-course meal without saying grace on the internet. Talking shit through your fingertips, talking high power till your shine is eclipsed. Trying to ride a wave until your mind is seasick. Cement shoes and your ankles tied with 3 bricks. This isn't Grand Theft Auto, this is real life. I will piss on your grave and throw dick to your wife. This is a warning mixed with some advice. You might be king, but I'm the ace of spades, and you just reneged. This is food for thought, bitch, eat a grenade. This is what people want, to be treated like dirt. I tried being humble, but that was absurd. All the brainless bitches flock together like birds, pecking for crumbs until they merge with the crossroads and chuck the demi-urge. I think they had enough, I took the trash to the curb. Let the torture begin and watch them burn. Here's the urn.
It's hard to keep it real with fake people. They can take love, mix it with hate, and make evil. I'm staring at 50 shades of gray people. It's a grand deception, like K-Reno. They are who they say they isn't. On the internet, spreading everybody's business through a troll account. Talking foul, not knowing what goes around comes around. The flat out truth is the energy change when I come around. I guess London Bridge is falling down. Hey people, stall him out. We know all about the narrative painting. To control the clout, they gatekeepers trying to stop the ones trying to awake people. HOTC.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion, and if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality. Bakushi thinks he's won the game, but he didn't count on the pinch hitter.
All is continuous vibration, always in motion. Conductor of energy, assault in the ocean. Serpent is the sine wave, polarities interwoven. A chemical sorcery, elixirs and potions. Resonant frequencies, molecular explosions. Your daily programs is heavy doses of hypnosis. People walk around blind even though their eyes are open. No time for ideological salesmen with biblical notions. That box in your room, televised lies through your vision. It doesn't matter your race, status, or religion. No longer have to beat you when your mind is locked in prison. That food is filled with toxins, it's why you can't think clear. Illusion of choice is your option while keeping all in fear. Load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here. I said load up all your weaponry, the revolution is here.
We ain't in the same place, or occupy the same space. So get the fuck out my face.
In the instant, I changed the mission with photosynthesis. Witness the synthesis, ripping endless on instruments. Feel the frequency, energy off this Hennessy synergy. Literally goals that take us to infinity. Reading articles, all is horrible. Calling audibles, I'm remarkable. I shot a fed at a carnival. Dust and particles, follicles gon' be everywhere. Heavy pair of some pistols, I shot them holding that teddy bear. Fuck the system, let's keep it simple. Let's raise the temple, make them triple while you're going to where they all assemble. Not Avengers, I'm the Avenger, I seek the injured. Kept my temper till I stuck the hidden blade up in her. Fuck the ruler, here's what they doing to you. Poison water in the food is what you put into you. I'm the shooter with new maneuvers. Caught back to Ruger, super trooper. He is gonna need a pooper scooper. The revenge of Montezuma. Rocking my Pumas, uppercut like a Kuma, sending you straight to Luna. Cosmic verses from universes on new excursions, emerging the virgin. I pull the back, the iron curtain. War leaders are world eaters, born cheaters, war sneakers, rearrange their core features. Born reaper, hurricane, the sword keeper, form ether, burn all of the mold geezers. Up in government, parliament, bitch, I'm tarnishing arguments, ain't no bargaining, throw a bomb in the audience. I'm the guardian, strange you all in the cardigan, rearrange the universe, I am the artisan.
We ain't in the same place or occupy the same space. So get the fuck out my face.
As a king, fighting the spirit of Mesa King, vibing to my queen, playing the tambourine, while I'm eating the tangerine. My plasma was replaced with gasoline, got the blood of the Elohim, manifesting through a dream, a shit you never seen. I got the eyes of Medusa and the hands of Wolverine, astral project with my inner being. We locked in the inner ring, hoping the Anunnaki intervene. While the world is under siege, they got an abyss under the sea, living underneath. Lightning struck me standing under a tree while I was crumbling weed, and an angel swooped down, put me under her wing. Now she shields me from my desires the devil brings. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed. Say my name in vain and you will never bleed.
The Bakushi is the master of illusion. And if everyone believes the illusion, it becomes reality.
All hail the king. Man, I just love eating chemical dyes. Oh, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? Do do do. Stop making fun of me. What's up, everyone? That shit looks like a an electrical jellyfish. I like this one better. We'll leave it here. Trying to find some better backgrounds, some better cover, and all that good stuff. Peace to Candy. I think that says Aidi Rising. Who's the ICD? I thought it was ICP Clown Posse. That's Insane Clown Posse. What's up, Faceplant, Hurricane? I wish I seen this new track. Damn, I'm slacking, man. Like, well, I'm not really slacking. I'm writing music every day. I'm listening every day. I shit you not. I'm listening to at least 50 beats, instrumentals. I downloaded at least 12 instrumental albums. I go through them like I'm picky with my beats, man. I could flow to any beat. Don't get me wrong. But I'll flow to a fucking bluegrass beat. I'll flow to a fucking classical song. But anyway, I think I'm gonna put my verse down on this beat. Send it to Hurricane. I had to rewrite some of the verse. Thank God I didn't put that verse down. Because in the verse, I put the Patriot Act was put out and said within a week, and I would have been wrong. I would have looked stupid. So I had to take that out. I mean, not take it out. I changed it around a little bit. I've never seen so many ding-dongs falling for the left versus the right. All these so-called woke people, right? They should call themselves wake, right? Because they're mentally dead, and they're at a wake. They can't use the word woke no more. They have to say I'm wake, because they're just fucking mentally dead, and we're doomed. Because people my age, those are gonna be the fucking lug nuts that take care of us when we're old if we make it that far. I don't care how old I am. One of those rainbow-haired fucks get loud with me. I could be 90 years old. I'll shove a cane down their throat. That's one thing that generation didn't have is ass whoopings from their parents. That's what they need. Fuck all that. That's beating your child. No, that's not actually. Well, it's sad to say, Candy. Huh. It looks like that might happen. Do you know for vaccines? I said, I'm debating if I should put the video out or not. Because I'm calling them out on it. I'm not narrating it. I'm just presenting the evidence. I ain't saying a word. I went to the AI overlord. I mean the AI overview. And I asked it. I said, does vaccines cause autism? And it says no. So I screenshotted it and I made this video with it. And start calling all this shit out. Every time I want out, I get pulled back in. Come on, sometime today. Fuck. Yeah. I had to start stacking money up, man. I gotta leave Connecticut. I'm gonna go out west. Somewhere, I don't know where, but wherever the road takes, Chuck. I wouldn't mind going to northern Michigan or something. Go to Canada, sneak in there. And if the Royal Guards chase me, I'd be like, you can't catch me, eh?
Father raising a 15-year-old severely autistic, nonverbal teenage daughter. When she was 15 months old, she received a round of vaccines that included the MMR and the DTaP. She developed a high fever. When the fever broke, she lost everything.
My daughter was 6 weeks old when I took her in for her vaccination. 2 hours later, she had a 5-minute seizure. And 2 hours after that, she had another 5-minute seizure.
Mama's here. Come on, come on. Come on, you're okay. You're okay. Come on, baby. Come on, babe. Come on. You can do it. Come on, babe. Come on now. Come on. Come on, baby. Come on. Keep breathing. Come on. Come on, come on, come on.
The vaccination gave her severe brain damage, and she had seizures every day for the rest of her life until she died in my arms at the age of 15.
There is no good reason to choose not to get a vaccine.
He got his MMR and he got his DTP, and within days, he stopped talking.
Projectile vomiting, convulsions.
He went blind in his left eye.
Vaccines took our healthy, happy baby and made him unwell.
She lost all acquired speech.
He lost his speech. He lost his eye contact, like the flick of a switch.
If vaccines were unsafe, I think this would be an interesting and reasonable discussion.
Obviously, some minority get hurt by this stuff. I don't understand why this is controversial.
Vaccines are safe. Get vaccinated.
It's like, you know what? Shut the fuck up and let me take every vaccine that Merck wants to shove down my throat.
Autism is not a side effect of vaccine, or to say it another way, because some people don't hear this well. Vaccines do not cause autism.
Hear this well.
Hear this well. Please hear this well.
Hear this well.
Vaccines can and do cause autism.
My grandson,
Daughter Lily and my daughter.
my son was fully vaccinated.
My son, Jackson.
I had a healthy, typically developing boy.
Please hear this well.
One day, everyone will know the truth about vaccines. Hear this well.
That's wild shit, that little baby, man. I feel bad for that mother. Yeah, we did. Just like I'm trying to tell people about the digital ID and what that's going to bring. And once again, I feel like I'm in 2020 again. But me, I'm a fucking prick. I'm not playing around this time. I'm going to be a dick. Because people didn't listen to me last time and I let it go. I said, you know what? These aren't my children. Who am I to say anything or interfere? So I let it go. But this time, I'll tell my friend, remember last time you didn't listen to me? Look, your fucking son is shaking like a leaf. No, I wouldn't do that. But I'm definitely gonna be a dick and be like, you guys didn't listen to me last time. What happened? I mean, sometimes I wonder why I go out of my way. I could easily disappear and survive and be just fine. I could survive anywhere. If I gotta fucking wrestle a gator, I'll do it. Wrestling a gator is easy. You jump on it from behind and stab that fucker right in his fucking head. Right where you shoot it. You jig it with a Rambo knife. No, I'm joking, but what's up, Yahweh? I dropped the link. Gotta get Hurricane up here. That new Mobb Deep album's fire. I was watching that 6ix9ine interview. I don't know, man. If dudes, you know, it seemed like, you know, not
saying to do what 6ix9ine did. I'm just saying what they did to 6ix9ine. That's how that shit be. That's what happens when you choose that type of life. No matter how much he fed them, they still, it wasn't enough. They had to fuck his girl, you know, try to rob him. Those are some grimy scumbags. But, like I said, if you're gonna get into that life, you should know that that's what those people are. They're at the bottom of the barrel, and everyone's a target. Pin what at the top? Yes, I did. You ought to pin it at the top. Which one? I'm lost. But these Airhead candies are banging. Damn. Oh. I wanted to speak on some things, but I don't remember what they are. Goddamn parasites. The doctor said 98% of the people in the world got parasites. And I said, oh man, that's terrible. Alright, it's pinned. Who's gonna come up on the panel? Sucks I had to go live late. I wanted to go live at 11:20, but then I didn't make it. The bus took forever. Damn. Trying to think of the topics. Peace, Alchemist. Is government shutdown. It's funny how Trump's saying there's garbage in the White House. They need to clean up. Okay. Well, why don't you start with himself? All these Q supporters be like, Bush been, all these people are in Guantanamo Bay. Yeah, okay. Sure they are. And I'm in fucking La La Land. Guantanamo Bay. Yeah. Q's still a thing. I found this. Let me see. Maybe I erased it, but hold on. Man, I've been looking at these bells and how they're designed. Pretty interesting. Here it is. Huh. This is what Q's putting out. I read this yesterday. Q did say, watch the water. Yeah, your toilet water. Watch that for all the bullshit. This thing's saying there's submarines that could go under the land. Shut the fuck up. How did they manage to do that one? Oh, I'm not saying you can't, but you know how hard it would be? Like I said, man, fucking ding-dongs think the terrorists or the invasion is gonna come from outside the country. No, the invasion already happened. The people in so-called power already invaded. Ain't nobody gonna invade America. Are you fucking crazy? What are they gonna do? Not only is everyone and their mom armed, right? They get on land, they're fucked. They wouldn't make it down the street. And two, they would have to blend in, which is a possibility, but where you gonna park your sub or your Navy ship or whatever? Then, I mean, the only thing I could say has these would be underground trains. And when these people go to war in these countries, I don't think it's government against government, right? They make it look like that. But you don't think these fucking people in the Middle East gave the okay to Bush to go over there and fucking annihilate that whole tribe? All of Saddam's tribe was annihilated by his competition over there. So in order for him to do it, he had to get America. Because I personally think these people in the Middle East like to suck Jew cock. And that's how, you know. Because Saddam and the Jews didn't get along either. They were enemies with each other. Who comes along? The United States, which is really Israel. Those Jews should have stuck to being jewelers. What's up, Max? And no, I don't hate Jews. What's up in the groove? I just don't like those. I don't like those particular ones. Another thing, Jews or Jewish isn't even, that shit's made up. Israel, if you look at old maps, Israel never existed. All Israel was written into history. They're the fake chosen people. I wonder how they would feel if you walked up to them and said, you're a chosen idiot. I remember the first time I heard that nonsense. It was pretty funny. I'm chosen, you're not. I wonder how true it is with Israel wanting to rape women and children, the prisoners over there. I mean, I don't think it isn't not true, because look what the US did to the Middle East people. They were doing all types of fucked up shit to them. I wonder when they're gonna make a law to where you can't talk about Jewish people. I look at it like this. They talk shit about German people all day long. It seems a lot of people don't have nothing nice to say about German people. My question is, what the fuck is a German? Ashkenazi, yeah. Turkish. That's what Hitler was. He wasn't even German, man. Like, I don't know how he became this so-called leader. He was born April 20th. I forgot what year. One day after my birthday. Oh man, that's what I want to do. Eric Dubé put out a video. I want to talk about 9/11, and I want to talk about the Oklahoma City bombing. Eric Dubé did a good piece on that Oklahoma City bombing. I remember that happened on my birthday. I was I think 15 years old when it happened. And I remember when I was watching the news, listening to how it was done, and they said he pulled up a U-Haul truck with what's that shit called? I think they make it with mulch. It becomes explosive or something. And come to find out, McVeigh didn't even do it. See, fertilizer, yes. Just like the guy with the Charlie Kirk that jumped off the roof, they set that little young man up. I almost called him a little boy. They set him up. The CIA does shit like that. They sent that young man, I almost called him a little boy again. They sent that young man to the roof to leave those bullets and a note, I guess. Right? So that was one of their chess moves. Then the video that I showed, where the guy's tipping his hat. Thank to that guy who figured that out with the military symbolism. That's how they communicate with each other, through binoculars and shit. Same thing with Trump. These people are creating these situations. And I just can't believe American people are still falling for this shit. That guy I watched, They Live Truth. Man, I love that guy's channel, man. He's a great Christian. He rips that shit apart. Yeah, the world stage for real. So, I wonder how long that video is. Let me see. Maybe I need my hotspot. What's up, Super Sidewinder? DEI? Or is it DEA? For J's. Wait. Hold on. DEI? For J's, Oklahoma City in 9/11 was about destroying. Yeah. That's what I was figuring in the groove. That's what I was figuring. Because why else would they blow? And the same thing with the pentagram. I mean the Pentagon. But yeah, I was back to the U-Haul truck. I'm thinking, there's no way, man. And then you look the distance of the U-Haul truck from the building, and it's like, even as a teenager, I was like, nah, something ain't right, because I've blown stuff up when I was younger. I've done a lot of crazy things blown. Like, I remember we took a box of spray cans and lit and threw it in a big ass dumpster fire, and things are going off like I've done other things, but we ain't gonna talk about that. But yeah, there's no way that one truck did that damage to the building that far in. I think they did the same thing they did to the Twin Towers and Building 7 and the pentagram. I think a missile did that. There was footage of it, but I haven't seen it in a long time. It'd be nice to dig that video up. But I think Oklahoma City bombing, they went in the building and laced it with fucking explosives. I think the U-Haul truck was a diversion from that. I think when he pulled up with the U-Haul truck, in my opinion, maybe it played a part in helping, and maybe they set him up to do that, so then the blame will be put on him. Just like JFK. They set that guy up. I forgot his name. That's how you know Trump. He's a bozo, man. He that fake ass shooting, man. There's no way in hell this cat got shot in the air. Yo. He's such a bozo. All these presidents are bozos, man. This is a sucky time to live in America. Because I wish they would have pulled this in the 90s. Like mid-90s. When the Latin Kings are at all-time high. before they locked up all the warriors. I had a dream. They called me Chucky King. Look, if you could get all the organizations to come together, that'd be the biggest fucking army. From coast to coast. But that is a fallacy. It will probably never happen. Oswald, yes. Patsy's. Man, they set that young man up at the Charlie Kirk shooting. They set that young man up. I feel bad for him. Now he's got to spend the rest of his life in prison for something he ain't even do. And if he tries to speak out, they'll kill him. Easy. They'll just pay some guy 10 soups to stab him up. Some lifer. And he'll gladly do it for 10 soups. That's no joke either. 10 fucking soups. Nah, maybe like $500 on the books, but it'll be cheap. Of course it won't. Kirk's still alive. I've seen a lot of evidence with the video that I played was good evidence. Then I got to find that other video where the guy has his hands, his arms crossed, and on the side that's facing Kirk, it looks like he's pressing some sort of a remote, right? Right when the gun went off, I think he pressed a remote, which triggered that blood to come out his neck. It was some sort of blood pack, a remote blood pack. Hey Tammy, what's up, Hurricane? That's just my opinion from watching the footage. I'm gonna get that other piece and piece it together. And then that other video I seen where the chair went through the table, that was odd. I don't know if someone did that or what happened with that, but that was odd. That one guy who was saying holograms, yeah, I don't know about that, man. I've never seen holograms in the daytime. And then another thing that gave it away too is the no blood. When they were carrying him to the truck, there should have been blood everywhere. But there wasn't. There was none. Which was not a good thing. That also showed it was bullshit. Alright, Max. Look at this beauty. Hold on. I'm wondering, Candy, if the people in the crowd were also paid to be there. Because remember they interviewed them 2 little girls, even though one of them was a little boy. They had that little boy in a fucking girl wig. Yo, what a disgrace these people are. You're making a little boy that knows no better wear a fucking girl wig in a dress. These parents need to get kicked in their fucking neck. That's a disgrace. I feel bad for that little boy. He must get beat up in school all the time. Unless they send him to a rainbow school, which they probably homeschool him and groom him and do sexual things to him. These people are sick, man. I don't care. I wouldn't lose a wink of sleep. Bringing real justice. None of these people are gonna see a day in fucking prison. They deserve to be in the ground for poisoning for poisoning the children, the food, the water. You know, look at the things they did with vaccinations to the children and people in general. Um, and that's not counting all the money they line their pockets with. That's supposed to go back into the country because that's how the system works. I mean, these people are worse criminals than crack dealers. Shit, they probably traffic children underground. Excuse me. That's why they're never caught driving trucks or anything, because they do it through the underground. What's up, Dean? I'm ready for war, man. You can't depend on the courts for justice. Hey, just imagine if I sold products. Let's say Chuck had a baby powder line, just like Johnson and Johnson, right? I'm a nobody. Imagine me selling baby powder to people, and it gave thousands of people cancer, and children are sick. You know what they would do to me? They would smoke my boots, freeze my accounts, take my money, and ruin my life. But these people, you know, people can say I'm bitching or whatever. I'm just shedding light, and I'm gonna keep doing it. I don't care if people say I'm bitching or, you know, people that say I'm bitching are just can fuck off. I'm speaking my observations that need to be spoken. If people don't want to hear it, well, there's millions of other channels. Go watch some people put elastics on fucking watermelons or fucking, I don't know. Go run your head into a wall or something. YouTube used to be so good, man, back in the day. When there was no trolling, there was no trash. It's just people weren't even on YouTube like that. You know what I'm saying? Once they commercialized YouTube, this place went to the shitter. Now it's filled with most of the, like, there's trolls, but I think a lot of these trolls are fucking just like on Reddit. Most of them are fake people. They're just computers trolling. They're not even real people. You know, when I put videos out on Reddit, especially chemtrail videos or geoengineering videos, I get nothing but trolls. They just attack me. They discredit all the stuff I put up, which I don't care. But yeah, that's all I get in the comments is just clowns, like fake people. What's up, Dean? So, but it ain't gonna. It's like they're trying to make me feel like I need to stop or something. It makes you want to do it more.
Hey,
But
Candy,
yeah,
Tammy, Tommy. That's the ones I read.
it's just sad that they had these protests, and the protests were basically ran by like a Connecticut governor was there, and he had the balls to talk about Connecticut being the Constitution state. Yeah, and they don't follow the Constitution. This is a liberal shithole, Connecticut.
Sorry, bro. Hey, Max. I heard you had Max up here just as I arrived.
No, Max was only in the chat. He had to go back to work.
Oh, okay.
You're the only one that's come up so far.
Oh, yeah, okay. Well, you know, I'm probably a menace.
That's a good thing. We need menaces. We're, people, the left, whatever they want to call themselves, they still depend on the government to fix things or to make it worse. I've never
And
seen America so bad, man. America is terrible.
You're gonna get worse, Chuck. These bastards want to reset the world, man. They don't like the fact that we're woken. They don't like the fact that we're fucking putting a fucking thorn in their side. We are you hear about the lion having a thorn in his fucking foot in the Bible. I mean, we are that thorn. We're that bloody thorn, mate, and they're not liking it, right? And like we've only got a few years left in this bloody place before they maybe have another reset. I feel that some people don't like the idea of that. They think, oh fuck, he's a doomsdayist. Fucking hell, I'm not the doomsdayist. These bastards are fucking doomsdayers, man. If you fucking think that this is living life normally, you're fucking off the planet. You know what I mean.
This is the worst part of my life.
This is fucking bullshit, man.
I thought it was
I
bad
grew
when
up
my
in
family died.
I
This
grew
is
up in the
worse.
50s and the 60s and the 70s. Man, people were living fucking what would you call it? You say the best days of their lives, right?
Yeah, that's when
But
my mother grew up.
but
She was
that's
born
when
in
everybody was
1960.
asleep. Most people were asleep to the world then. They were asleep to the fucking government's bullshit. Most people were asleep to that shit. Once you wake up and you find out the fucking, hey, how did you wake up? Oh, we started waking up through the fucking late 70s, 80s. It wasn't until then they started really fucking hitting the shit with the fan, right? I mean, they had to establish us into the world for a start, and to get us out there, they had baby boomers after the Second World War. They wanted a population that could give them everything they needed, but they all needed them asleep. They didn't need them awake. Fuck, if they'd been awake right from the fucking very beginning, they would have had to do another fucking reset like they did with the fucking mud flood. And they're gonna do it anyway. It's gonna fucking happen. You kind of can kid yourself that hey, this is all fucking better times are coming. Fuck me. If people fucking believe better times are coming, they're fucking living in a dream. That's fucking bullshit. Only fucking living on hope. Hope is what's fucking keeping the place going. If it wasn't for fucking hope, man, you would have nothing. Fucking hell, get it together. It's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse. That's a fact. And we're gonna get fucking shit until the fucking they stop this fucking thing and reset the fucking world again. And they're gonna do it with tsunami mud. They're gonna cover everything that we had up with 30 feet of fucking mud. What do you think the Tartarian buildings were? Those things were covered in fucking mud. They had to dig the fucking shit out so they could find the old infrastructure and take up where they left off. I've been telling people that for years. You know I have, Chuck.
We both have. Remember those pictures I was showing in Mexico? Those
Yeah,
fucking pyramids were
yeah.
covered in mud and trees. And I
Fucking
don't
oath
think
they
this was
were.
that long ago either. I think it was recent. Maybe
Yeah,
150 years ago.
200 maybe at the most. But yeah, not
Yeah.
that fucking long ago, bro.
Like late 1700s maybe? Or early
Yeah,
1800s.
I think late 17, early hundreds, 1800s. That's where we're at, bro. And if people are fucking thinking, oh, that's a doomsday fucking attitude to have, well, I'm fucking sorry for you, bro. But fuck, I'm not the fucking one thinking it. The cunts are gonna do it. They fucking already got you fucking dead, mate. They already got you dead. If you're scared, well, I'm sorry for you. Fucking get the fear right out of your fucking head. Go and face it like a fucking person that's got some reality in your head. Fucking face it. We're all gonna die anyway. Fuck, if you're scared of death, you're fucking living in the fucking wrong state of mind. Don't be fucking scared of it. Fuck it, I'm gonna fucking find the biggest hill. I already own one. I'm gonna fucking stand up here and I'm gonna fucking watch it come. I'm gonna put my fucking finger in the air and say, fuck you too, right?
Uh,
Fuck you too.
uh,
You
hey.
know, we've got no power here today. We've had the roughest night. New Zealand's been under a fucking storm, fucking raging all night, man. It started yesterday afternoon, and we got no power at the moment. I'm going to have to get up soon and go and get my gas heater cook thing set up. I've got a fucking thing to go on the gas, and to boil a jug and get stuff like going like that. But yeah, fuck, it's lucky it's daylight. We got no fucking lights. Hell night. I looked out the window to see if the chicken house was standing. I did a fairly good job. Our chicken house is fucking still standing. And we still got chooks.
Alright, let's see if this video by Eric Dubay
I'm trying to
is
find
playable.
somebody. Was it you? Was it Campbell? I asked Campbell the question last night on his. He did a little Tartaria show on Melbourne, and just some of the buildings
Good.
not looking the same. Well, I think it was might have been a few hours before that, but I missed that. I'm fucking always late these days. But anyway, I just want to. I've asked a question to him, and I don't know how to get hold of John Levi, but I have a feeling it's either Campbell, you, or John Levi, where somebody showed a picture of a group of men and they were clearing a railway track. Or a tram track. It's either a railway track or a tram track. And that the question I'm asking is, it had a caption underneath it, and it said, a piece of scripture script underneath the caption. It said, "Surface men clearing infrastructure." Right? Clearing old tracks. Now, I'm pretty sure it was spelled SURFACE, like in surface, but they were called surface men. And I'm really looking for that because, that's a pretty strong set of words to say there. Surface men. Why come up to? I've said this before. It's a bit like the bloody what do you call it? Noah's Ark, where they sent out a dove, and the dove came back and it had nothing in its beak, and then they sent it out again, and it still came back with nothing, and then the third time they sent it out, it came back with an olive branch. Hello, it had found land. All right. But to me, that was what do you call it? Algorithm? No, something to say that.
Algorithm?
Yeah, it's an algorithm. It's something like saying, it's the same thing as saying surface men to me. They had to send out some people to find out if the surface was livable again. That's what they wanted to know. If it's not livable, well, we don't want to go up there, right? So they sent up people, you and I, slaves, people that were destructible, ones that they could fucking, oh, well, if he doesn't come back, we can always send another one, right? They came out of the mountains. These people were the Anunnaki, the ones that were capable of fucking women. Of course they were fucking capable of fucking women, because they were people. Might have been the same as you and me, but they were fucking people, all right. And they were mating with the daughters of men. Well, of course they were. But the daughters of men weren't the bloody people that were the people from underground. These were the survivors. And they wanted to get a whole new race. That's where the Cabbage Patch dolls come in. That's just another psyop for us to believe in. But it's just it's another way of naming the picture. The picture was that these people came up from out of the mountains and they mated with people who were still alive after the cataclysm, after the fucking mud flood that covered the ground, that covered with 30 feet of mud. You didn't know anything existed underneath 30 feet of mud unless the building was big enough, right? Big enough to stick out of the top of the mud. How many stories underneath the bloody Leaning Tower of Pisa? It must be a fair few to keep it at that angle. It must be a fair few. Wouldn't be just one, and it couldn't be just the one ground basement holding that there like that. There's no way. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is held there by mud, and there might be fucking 3 or 4 stories underneath that again. We're not. People are. We're fucking living in hope, man. If it wasn't for fucking hope, we wouldn't fucking.
We need
They
a
wouldn't
dose of
have it.
opium.
Yeah, the hopium. If we didn't have the hopium, man, they wouldn't have us. We'd already be fucking uprisen. We've already risen up and fucking started fucking attacking their system. They knew that. They had to keep us in hopium. And they fucking know, and that Bible was written for exactly that purpose. I'm not trying to say you believers are believing in that. Of course it gave you hope. Of course it gave me hope when I first believed. I fucking believed in it. I spent fucking years on fucking Facebook. When Maureen met me, she called me Father Dean. She thought I was a fucking priest online. She did. You can ask her. It's
Father
true.
Dean.
Father Dean, that's what she called me. You can ask her. There's plenty of people that know me from my past when I fucking first came on Facebook. I was a preacher, man. I preached the bloody gospel. I told it. I made prayers. I made prayers for Venezuela because of the fucking the suffering and the tyranny they were under. I made prayers for different places around the world because I was so bloody upset by what I was seeing and what I was learning. But now when I look at it, it was me being taken by that book and how much it,
Bitty
it, it,
bong.
gave, it gave me hope. It gave me hope. Fuck, I was so much hope for the world and that we could bring God back, bring Jesus back, and fix this fucking nightmare of a place. That's how much hope I had. Not fucking. I don't have any hope for it anymore because I know what's going on. You can't kid You can't kid a smart man. You can kid a dummy, but you can't kid a smart man. Only so long you're going to lie in fucking sleepness, and then you're going to wake up. When you fucking wake up, then you're going to realise this place is living in hope, and this place is all fucking living under bullshit. We got to fucking come to terms with what's actually happening here. Fucking these bastards have been resetting the fucking place for as long as I can fucking. You can go through the histories of different nations, and you know, even you look at Australia. How many times did those Australian people go underground? How many times did they go to that cave in that fucking 40,000 year period? Fucking more times than you and I fucking know about. We know that there's a rope of hair that was found 4,000 years, one family. 4,000 years, one family were going into that cave. But
We
what
need to
happened
go
before?
into it and look around.
Well, we can't anymore because fucking Rio Tinto, the giant iron mining company, fucking destroyed it, Chuck. They did that on purpose. There's a cave in the bottom of South Africa, actually, down by Cape Town. There's a cave on the fucking side there. People were going there and staying in the fucking thing to survive. They were the only survivors that came out of that part of Africa because they'd gone to that cave system. The only way to get away from these fuckers.
Oh, that's what we're gonna go over when you're done. The cave maps I found.
Yeah, come on, we got to do it. I'll rest up my case now. But
Check
I
this
can't.
out real quick, Dean. When you're done, I
Come
want to
on, bro. Yeah,
play
no,
this.
I'm done. I'm done.
Play this video. I got a bunch of maps I found. But let's check this video out real quick. It's only 8 minutes. By Eric Dubay. You know who Eric Dubay is, right?
Yeah.
The April 19th, 1995 Oklahoma City bombing of the Murrah Federal Building resulted in over 800 injuries and 168 lost lives. Though overwhelming evidence disputes their claims, the government and mainstream media quickly agreed that the bombing was perpetrated by a terrorist named Timothy McVeigh. Allegedly, McVeigh acted alone and parked a single Ryder truck bomb affront the Murrah building on that morning. However, 20 eyewitnesses reported seeing two men. David Icke wrote, 20 eyewitnesses saw two men in a Ryder truck. Each one described the second man as Middle Eastern and said it absolutely was not Terry Nichols, the patsy John Doe 2 agents tried to blame. All 20 people filled out 302s, investigative reports, but none have ever surfaced. Also, just like 9/11, the Pentagon's 80 CCTVs and the London bombings in the tube, the 12 camera tapes at the Murrah building were seized and withheld, all for reasons of national security. The 20 witnesses' reports were ignored, and the security tapes were withheld. When forced by investigators to find a second patsy, officials came up with Terry Nichols, who they claimed to be McVeigh's accomplice, even though all eyewitnesses agreed the second man in the truck was Middle Eastern, and definitely not Terry Nichols. David Icke wrote, McVeigh was arrested so conveniently for a traffic offense immediately after the bombing for the same reason that Lee Harvey Oswald was arrested in a cinema immediately after the Kennedy assassination, and Osama bin Laden was named as the culprit after 9/11. They are the patsies required by problem-reaction solution to hide the real orchestrators. Just as 9/11 was a massive version of what happened in Oklahoma, so Oklahoma was a repeat of the Kennedy assassination. Lee Harvey Oswald was a U.S. agent who was placed in the right place at the right time without being told exactly why he was there. He realized this after Kennedy was shot and ran. When he was arrested, he said he was a patsy, a stooge, and would have said so in court. That's why he was paraded in public to allow another government agent, Jack Ruby, to shoot him and kill the evidence. In the same way, very possibly, McVeigh was a government stooge who parked the Ryder truck without knowing the full story. On the morning of April 19th, shortly after the bombing, in live broadcasts, CBS, CNN, and NBC all reported on 3 additional bombs inside the building. One of the bombs exploded, and 2 others were found and defused. Oklahoma City's NBC affiliate, KFOR, in their live feed, immediately reported, quote, "The first bomb that was in the federal building did go off. It did the damage that you see right there. The second explosive was found and defused. The third explosive that was found, and they are working on right now as we speak, I understand, both the second and third explosives, if you can imagine this, were larger than the first. So try to imagine 2- or 3-fold happening what we've already seen there. It is just incredible to think that there was that much heavy artillery that was somehow moved into the downtown Oklahoma City Federal Building." Once Timothy McVeigh was arrested, all reports of the additional bombs inside the building ceased. The mainstream media quickly parroted the government line, and America was assured that the perpetrators, McVeigh and Nichols, acted alone using a single truck bomb. This, however, has been disproved repeatedly. Out of hundreds of people interviewed, we couldn't find a single person who said they'd only heard one explosion. The University of Oklahoma's own seismographic reports, as well as the U.S. Geological Survey reports, 2 different scientific institutions, show multiple explosions. But for there to have been multiple explosions, Timothy McVeigh would have had to have accomplices, and that didn't fit in with the federal story, especially if the reality showed that it had to be a group that had access to the federal building for long, extended periods of time, like the BATF and the FBI. Even the U.S. Air Force's own 1997 blast effects study of the Oklahoma City bombing verified the impossibility of being the result of a single bomb. General Benton K. Parton concluded that, quote, "It is impossible to ascribe the damage that occurred on April 19, 1995 to a single truck bomb containing 4,800 pounds. In fact, the maximum predicted damage of the floor panels of the Murrah Federal Building is equal to approximately 1% of the total floor area of the building. It must be concluded that the damage at the Murrah Federal Building is not the result of the truck bomb itself, but rather due to other factors, such as locally placed charges within the building itself." In the report, General Parton also mentions how a single bomb cannot explain the failure of many columns in the back of the building, as compared to the April 19, 1995 Oklahoma City bombing of the Murrah Federal Building resulted in over 800 injuries building, as compared to the non-failure of columns in the front where the truck was parked. Parton concluded that shaped demolition charges were indeed used inside the building. The blast effects study showed that the maximum damage possible from a single truck bomb would affect only 1% of the floor area. Take a look at any photo of the Murrah building after the explosions. To ascribe the amount of actual damage done to merely this is ludicrous. David Icke wrote, Glenn and Kathy Wilburn, who lost 2 small children in the bombing, worked constantly and passionately for years to uncover the truth of what happened. They conducted and documented more than 300 hours of interviews and persuaded people to talk who had remained silent for fear of the consequences. They established beyond question that a heavily armed bomb squad had been in downtown Oklahoma near the Murrah building that morning before the bombs exploded. Some parents saw these people in their bomb squad uniforms as they dropped off their children at the daycare center in the Murrah building, children they would never see alive again. Eventually, after months of denial by the FBI and other government agencies, the sheriff's department had to admit that the bomb squad had been there. After months of meticulous, independent investigation, Glenn and Kathy Wilburn got the sheriff's department to actually admit what they already knew from multiple, consistent eyewitness testimonies. A government bomb squad had been at the Murrah Federal Building that very morning. Emergency radio transmission transcripts from that morning also prove that many policemen and firefighters witnessed BATF at the scene. Oklahoma lawyer Daniel J. Automatus was interviewed saying, there was this fairly large truck with a trailer behind it. It had a shield on the side of the door that said bomb disposal or bomb squad below it, and I really found that interesting. You know, I'd never seen anything like that in person. Alex Jones said, do you realize what you've just read? The government had multiple surveillance cameras. The cameras also show the BATF agents hiding out right down the street, preparing to pounce on the operation and declare themselves the heroes, the saviors. From A to Z, there are federal fingerprints all over the Oklahoma City bombing, and the government is doing everything it can to suppress the truth. Bill Clinton is the servant of the New World Order, whose approval rating exploded after the attack. His attack dog, the butcher of Waco, Janet Reno, was very happy to blame everything on Christians, conservatives, and gun owners. It was her excuse to expand federal control over local police and to merge the military with the police in new, giant anti-terrorism training programs. David Icke wrote, the U.S. government hired the same company to carry away the remains of the Oklahoma City bombing and the World Trade Center. The company is ironically named Controlled Demolitions. And Paul Joseph Watson wrote, the handling of the World Trade Center rubble almost mirrors that of the Oklahoma City Alfred P. Murrah building. After eyewitnesses reported several explosions and original newscasts detailed the recovery of second and third explosive devices, the government declared that there was just one bomb, and the remains of the building were professionally demolished by Controlled Demolitions, Inc., the same company that was first on the scene to cart away the World Trade Center rubble. Debris of the federal building was then carted off to a private landfill and guarded 24 hours a day by Wackenhut private security. Nothing to hide there then, hey? The FEMA team that investigated why the towers collapsed was headed by Dr. W. Gene Corley, the same individual the government called upon to whitewash the Waco fire inquiry and the Oklahoma City bombing. Another strange coincidence to note is that just 2 years earlier, in 1993, Martin Keating, the brother of Oklahoma's governor Frank Keating, wrote a novel called The Final Jihad. In his book, a man named Tom McVeigh bombs an Oklahoma City federal building. Linda Kavanaugh from NBC's Oklahoma affiliate KFOR even reported on this oddity, saying, the news channel has learned of another strange development. Apparently, before the bombing, Governor Frank Keating's brother, Martin, had been working on a novel about a terrorist bombing in Oklahoma City. Stranger still, one of the characters in the novel was named Thomas McVeigh. Also adding to the mystery, Martin Keating dedicated his book to an unknown group called the Knights of the Secret Circle. Building, as compared to the non-failure of columns in the front where the truck was parked. Parton concluded that shaped demolition.
That's very interesting.
I mean, you're right.
Very interesting.
Well, it's
I'm gonna
pretty
have to
obvious
look at
that was
that book.
happening. I mean, you know, people can say, "Oh, you need to go and research this and research that and all that," but yeah, okay. Okay, I mean, you need to read these, but I haven't got enough bloody time to watch all the bloody videos that stack up in front of me, to be honest. You
Yeah,
know?
Eric Dubay does a good job with his presentations, man. People always
But
got something bad to say about Dubay.
it's pretty bloody obvious that these buggers have no bloody qualms about killing people, man, right? They've got no
Hell
qualms.
no. They write books about it beforehand too, which is odd.
Yeah.
Just like
Buggers.
Charlie Kirk was in that movie. Now all of a sudden, Timothy McVeigh's in the fucking book beforehand? What the fuck?
I mean, the thing is that it's only you and I and people like us, the reason they have reset, you know, because we start seeing things. The woke folk is what they're fucking scared of. If everybody in the world woke up at the same fucking time, they'd be in shit street, right?
That's what
And
I
that's what,
thought I could do, was wake people up.
and we're always talking about tipping point. You know, once you get enough people, it's like it's like part of the brain waking up, you know, and then you go a light bulb comes on, and it instead of just being a sort of a smidgen of a thought of saying, I think there's something up here, to what going to bed at night and then waking up in the fucking morning and go, now I fucking know it is, right? And that's how close it is to these cunts fucking getting caught out, mate. That's how fucking close it is. And these bastards are worried, all right? You bet they are, right?
We
Fucking
need to do
worried.
the job, though. We need to execute them. It's going to be up to us to imprison them or whatever. Because you know
Well,
the
the thing
court
is
system ain't going to
that
do it.
I'm already bloody believing we're watching actors, mate, and most of them are puppets. And the real fucking guys, the ones that fucking control the whole fucking thing, have already got their fucking shit down underground, mate. They've already
It's
been
alright.
taken. They've already got their caves sorted, right?
We got to find the entrances.
Well, that's what I said to Phil a while back. If you want to fucking stop what's going on, you got to get these bastards while they're still alive, so you can kill them off before the fucking thing happens. Because I don't think it's just them. I think actually the fucking computer is already set. It's got a fucking doomsday switch in it. I actually
I wouldn't
believe
doubt it.
in my heart that that fucking computer is the god of this world.
Probably.
It's got a doomsday switch in it. It's gonna fucking throw that bastard whether you like it or not, whether Trump likes it or not. His ass wants to be well underground when the fucking thing goes off. I would say they already got a fucking date for it. You know? If you got the Oklahoma bombing already had a fucking date for that, you can be sure the Twin Towers had a fucking date for them. And any other fucking thing. Why did these people go into these caves if they didn't have a date already? Right? They got a date for it, mate. I ain't got no cave to run to. I'll be going to the top of the hill and hold me fucking middle finger up to them. Get fucked, you cunts. I don't give a fuck about ya. We're fucking. It's already gonna happen anyway. We can't stop it. We can tell it's going to happen because of the way the world's going. There's too much to say that they are prepared to do anything to keep their power. And if they're going to prepare to do anything, they're prepared to kill people. You ain't going to hope for stopping it. Reckon you can pray all you bloody want. You can do all that. It won't stop it. Saving the children is not going to happen, I'm afraid. They already fucking showed you that with the Oklahoma bombing. You're coming in. You're coming in and out. You're not really coming in good there, Chuck. Got a bit of flux on your mic, not floss.
30 or 40 case. My bad.
I don't know about Jay Dreamer's idea of going to the North Pole. I don't, to Mount Meru. I'm not really so sure about that, Jack. If it was, what would you call
Could
it?
be
If it was
underwater
God,
too.
if it was God, if it was the creation story and the decreation, I think we'd all know about it. I think this is.
Well, I
I think
think the
this is.
center is like the machine to this realm.
Yep.
Maybe even
I think.
underground too. I don't think there's no God sitting on the throne. I think the
Yeah.
God to this realm is the energy that brings life to everything. That's about it. And they create stories about it. You know, these allegorical stories.
I fully agree, Jack. Thank you. Yep.
Thank you, Candy. Well, it'd be better to thank Eric Dubay. Yeah, the throne's definitely the brain or the third eye. What's up, Eyes Wide Shut? Anyone else come in while we were watching that? Let me see. Scott Severini. You see. In the Groove said
That's why
turds in
it's
our
called the
punch
Free
bowl.
Thinkers Lounge, bro. That's why it's called the Free Thinkers Lounge, right?
Oh yeah, I got some maps. I'm so keen into wanting to find the underground entrance, but I wouldn't go by myself.
Well, the thing is, Chuck, I mean, like there are so many. You've got maps at galore of
Yeah, if they're real. I don't know if they're how real these maps are, but
Yeah, okay, but like they got this. They're talking about a peace tunnel between Alaska and is it Siberia? I think it is. Right? I did I send you that link in Telegram about the peace tunnel?
I'll have to look. But I think there's tunnels that connect all these continents, like deep underground. And I think when these people, I don't know where they came from, but they're probably underground. And when this war or thing happened, they would travel underground from continent to continent using these
Well,
trains.
I think these bloody tunnels are already being shown to us because if you have a look at the Tartarian mud flood pictures that John Levi showed, some of the ones that you've showed too, they had people, they had tunnels underneath them. How the hell did those people come up into that area if they didn't come up through a tunnel under that building? Right? How the hell did these people come in there and clear that infrastructure ready for the Western civilization to return to, what they call the
I have
New
no
World.
clue. May
Well, I reckon they had those tunnels coming up in buildings. They had them in strategic buildings, of course, but
That's where they went when the flood happened.
yeah, they went down through those tunnels in those buildings.
Look at these pictures I found. Well, I showed them earlier, but I don't think you were watching. Look at this. I think this is in I forgot where this was, but you could see where they dug it out and then somebody put bricks afterward. Then you got this one. I mean, look how that's put together, this tunnel. That's pretty intricate. I have more pictures of underground stuff.
What I find about most of these tunnels is they've got the same shape as the modern tunnels, which means they had a boring machine the same way, right?
Yeah, the round ones.
Yeah.
Look at these fucking bells, man. This is an old world bell. And I don't know what that says. Something about war.
I remember probably about 4 months ago, maybe 5 months ago, you were hard out on the bloody tunnels. You would go day after day after day about tunnels, and I was thinking to myself, man, we're getting close now. But
I want to
yeah,
find some bad out here. There's got to be entrances around here. Maybe, like you said, it's in the buildings. Like, I got to take a tour of the Capitol or something. Well, there's an entrance to under the Capitol. They made this to help the flooding. Now, look at this thing. This is weird, this picture. But anyway, I forgot the name of the tunnel in Hartford. I'll tell you right now.
even the Great Pyramid of Gaza's got a bloody plug in one of the entrances, the main entrance into that place. And it was not a plug. I don't reckon it was plugged up by concrete. The concrete came in later. But the initial plug came in from a tsunami, I believe. I believe that most of the plugs that we have, you will find they were tsunami mud, and the concrete came in later to make it look like it was blocked up by man for some other reason. But I reckon the ones that are the plugs in these buildings that were tsunami mud, they're the ones to look out for. Wherever that, like you got the some of these mounds were actual graves of giants, but then they got a bloody mound of mud over them. They were actually, it's the difference in the mud. Now, if you know anything about the ocean, it's got a particular type of mud, and that's what I tell people. If you're gonna go looking for a fucking tunnel, go looking for the ones with the tsunami mud in, because they're the ones that will tell you where the entrances were, right? Not the ones with concrete on them. That tsunami mud is actually, they call it over here Papa, grey, wacky, but it's seabed mud. That's what it is. It gets fucking riddled with shells. And I've been doing my bloody fossil huntings, and I show my last video or one before, where there's lines in the what they call papa, where there are shells. That's a sediment line. A sediment line would have been laid down in the mud as it was consolidating. As the mud consolidated, it got a bit of hardness to it, or a bit of depth to it. The shells, the lighter things that were coming in, got swept over the top. But you think, people say, oh, that was just one tsunami. Fuck off. It's like the tree rings. People don't understand that tree rings are not 1 year. They are one wet season. How many wet seasons can you have in a year? You can have a wet, we've had already this winter, we've already had about 3 different wet events where that tree would have grown 3 different times in a year already. A ring does not set president a year. A ring presidents a wet part. Trees only grow when there's water around. Plants, you watch plants. If you put a plant in the ground and you get a heavy lot of rain, it will throw air roots, what they call air roots, around its base, because that's the fucking water that it's seeking, and it will grow that much more.
That's
If
good
the wet,
knowledge to have, Dean.
okay, and the same thing with tsunami mud. The tsunami mud. It's just another wave coming over that's bringing in more shells. Don't think that was just a whole lot of different events. No, that was fucking one event that the fucking one wave came in, then another wave came in, then another wave came in. Fuck, you might have. How many ripples do you get in the front of a ship? Right? Fucking hundreds. People are thinking straight when they say that that was just one event, and then thousands of years later another one, and then thousands of years another one. No, it happened at the same fucking time. One wave brought in fucking 20 feet of mud. Another wave brought in another fucking 20 feet of mud, until they started getting smaller and smaller, or bigger. One was bigger, one was smaller. That's how your buddy worked. The same with tree rings. People are not thinking. They're being told that. Well, no, it's not that they're not thinking. It's that the fucking mainstream media tell you bullshit, right? They tell you the shit happened. Oh, that was 1,000 years later. Ah, that tree's growth ring happened a year later. That's fucking bullshit. It happened when it was raining, when it was wet. That's when it grew fucking a lot. And then it stopped. Dry seasons. Those fucking little dry seasons, fucking, my whole year might have been dry and never grew a fucking thing. Right? We got to start looking at things differently. I've only just started fucking seeing these things myself. The tree rings was pointed out by Jason from Mechanics, and I totally agree with him. Now I totally see what's going on. And the same with snow. You have snow. They say, oh, that was last year's snow, or the snow before, and they what do you call it? The volcanic ash is 1,000 years apart, or those were bullshit. They might have had fucking 10 volcanic eruptions in 1 year. That wasn't fucking thousands of years apart. They might have been fucking one after the other. You know, we've been fucking tricked by mainstream media and fucking bullshit. Yeah, no, once you start looking at it from a different perspective, taking on the observer fucking perspective and looking at it with different eyes, we can see a whole lot different picture going on. And even you could say, if you really wanted to, you could say in a tsunami event, there would have been 5 or 6 waves of seashells coming off the bottom. And the first one would have bought, first, second, third, they would have bought the shells from wherever that fucking tsunami started. Not from where the fucking the beach came up on your shore. I've got shells that came from the Northwest Pacific coast. I know those shells were bought with the first wave. I've actually worked it out. I thought it was a big blob of fucking shit landing, but now I've got a different fucking point of view. I can see where that wave, the first wave, came from the Northwest Pacific coast, Alaska. That bloody wave hit New Zealand on the east coast, and it came in, and that level is down in the mud. And then the next wave came. It was bringing stuff from out further off the coast. Different shells to put different types of waves coming in. And they're different layers, man. So it's not the lies it's the people that don't know from one from another, so they fall for it. Okay, well, fair enough, eyes wide shut. I agree with that. I'd agree with that. It's not just the lies, right? That's how much I'd agree. I'd agree that there are people that don't know, but I also say it's the lies as well, because how many times are we told that the ring of a tree's growth happens once per year? Right? That's bullshit. It's wet seasons. It's a wet part of that year that made that tree growth, that tree ring grow so substantially. And, we can start looking at it with different eyes once we start getting these understandings coming in. It's the same with the levels and the waves. I know that how many waves come off a bow wave off a ship. It's not one. It's a ripple effect. The same on anything. You throw a rock into the pond, the water's going to ripple out from there. It's a ripple effect. It's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever, however big that rock was when it lands in the water will create how many ripples they're going to get. If you got a little pebble, you're only going to get a couple. You get a big rock, you're going to get a lot. Same with a bloody seismic activity underneath. When a seismic earthquake goes off, you get sometimes like they said when the 1888 earthquake hit Chatham Islands, the first wave woke the people up in their houses because it came up to their beds. They said, "Oh shit, there's water in the bloody house." They came out, whoop, it's a tsunami. Okay, shit. They ran to high ground. The ones that survived are the ones who realized it was a tsunami and took off for the high ground. The ones that died got hit by the next wave, which actually went way inland further, which means that not always the first ripple's going to be the biggest. Some of these waves come in after, the bigger ones come in after. It all depends on on how much seismic activity is happening underground. In the 1888 earthquake, the one I showed you, Chuck, there were bloody 5 meters of ground lifted out of the Cook Strait. 5 meters in one instant. Bang, it shot up.
Sorry. I'm
5
going
meters.
back and forth, Dean. I'm trying to just cook something real quick.
No worries, no worries. But people have got to look at these things and have a look in greater depth at how some of these things happen. There was the one in crikey, Alaska that happened 1972, was it? 1972. There's one happened in Alaska. The ground shot up that quick. In some places, I'm not sure how many meters it was. I'm going to have to go back and have a look at that. But it's worth going and having a look at how many meters up in the air some of these seismic activity shot the land mass up into the air. And in Sicily, there's one in Sicily that happened in 17 or 1800, 1855. Crikey, I can't. But anyway, it changed the whole surface. It actually destroyed all the buildings, covered a lot of buildings up, and a new shape of buildings got erected. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure about the new sort of stuff, because some of these bloody cover-ups, we're already proving that the Tartaria mud flood covered up buildings that were already here that we, with our horse and carts, could never have built. They could never have built that stuff. What they call the Renaissance period. I think that's another wave of something happening. It's, to me, we are looking through different eyes. We're not seeing the bloody connection between them and volcanic eruptions or even earthquakes and tsunami mud. I think there's more to be bloody seen if you open your eyes up to that. I've been doing it for long enough now, and I've started to see that, especially when Jason from McCaig said that, and shout out to you, Jason, if you ever watch this, mate, is that by telling me about those tree rings, I've started to see things in a whole different way, and they're not bloody yearly events. They come down to maybe even monthly or weekly, or I would say more on the lines of monthly, because you can have rain, heavy rain in 1 month, and then you have a whole month without any rain. And then another couple of months later, and bang, another big wet bloody bash. And whew, get another big ring growing in the tree. Trees don't take thousands of years to get those ring growths. No, they can happen within bloody a couple of 100 years. We're being fucking, like the water that was around when these giant trees there was water, there was moisture everywhere. They didn't have to. There were huge amounts of volcanic eruptions that would have given them so much CO2 in the atmosphere that would have helped their growth. people say, oh, well, fuck, you know, they would have got destroyed. Of course, if there was a fucking volcano going off where they were going to get destroyed. Of course they were. It didn't mean to say that volcanoes were going off over the whole place at the same bloody time. Crikey. No, it wasn't. Krakatoa went off. It didn't fucking go off over here. It went off over there. People think when they're fucking the world's coming to an end, it's all going to happen in one, and the whole lot's going to happen at once. No shit. They're going to destroy the coastline. Where have all the cities? Where's all the cities? Most of the cities in the world are in fucking on the coast. You know, up the rivers. I mean, the Hutt River here. They proved the bloody 1888 earthquake, tsunami. The bloody Hutt River was sent fucking miles inland. It was already miles up the bloody inland anyway. The Hutt River Bridge is probably about 5 miles from the coast. It was sent into the headwaters of the Hutt River by a tsunami. You know, people were covered in mud. A joker's house in Hastings. 2 people were in the kitchen when the bloody earthquake struck in the morning. It carried the house, the tsunami wave carried the house inland along the side of the river. And it carried it back in that house. The only thing that survived was because they had a brick fireplace with the cooking arrangements all around the chimney, and the only reason the bloody the thing survived is because of all the brickwork and clay work around the kitchen for the cooking arrangement. The rest of the house was destroyed, but that part was carried inland, ripped off its bloody. The whole house was ripped off its bloody foundation. And taken inland. And these 2 guys said if they weren't in the bloody kitchen, they would have got killed. So, you know, it just comes down to logical brain work. Don't let that bloody mainstream thinking bloody, you know, be your mode of thinking, because that's what's tricking you. You are allowing somebody else's brain to work for you. Get your brain activated, get it working. Start looking at things like, start seeing these bloody growth rings on trees, not as bloody yearly things, but as in monthly, maybe even less, maybe even more. I don't know. You're going to have to use your own bloody wisdom, your own mental capacity to work it out. But, you know, it's the same with these tsunami waves. I've now started to see them in a whole different light. And I don't see them as one tsunami and then 1,000 years later another one came in. No, I don't see it at all like that. I see them in waves now. And one wave came in, settled, another one came in and settled, and then another one came in and settled. And how far they go is how much power they have. How far they go inland, how much land they cover, is all about the size of the buggers. Right? That's the real key is to find out. And like, you're not getting many accounts today to the same as what happened in 1888, because it was all verbally told. Today, the written accounts are not going to fucking show the same, right? Because they're not even as big. Why aren't they as big? Because people can record them. That's why what kind of thing has got that kind of mind to be able to even work that out? Only thing I can say is man or a machine like artificial intelligence has got the power because they already know that information. That fucking thing is not new. We've got fucking plenty of information in the bloody pipeline to tell us that AI, artificial intelligence, has been around for a lot longer, probably even since the beginning when those giant trees were here. And that it was the reason that those giant trees got cut down because it was an industrial revolution, just the same as what we have. An industrial revolution came into New Zealand, and it cut down all the trees and made cities and infrastructure, just the same as it did in Australia, just the same as it did in America, just the same as it did in the UK. These are all industrial revolutions for every country. And they didn't all happen. They didn't, I mean, the last ones did. They all happened at the same time to set this world up. But there were industrial revolutions that go right back. Those giant trees were cut off with saws by giant fucking people. It's fucking obvious.
Or lasers.
Or lasers, whatever, but it was technology, right? It was
Yeah.
technology. That's what I'm saying.
I'm a YouTube scholar.
I know you are, Chuck. I know you are. That's why I'm talking the way I am, because I know you are.
You are too.
Yep.
I had to make something to eat for my roommate. I just made French fries and egg.
I'm going to drop off now. You can end the live if you want to, but I'm going to bugger off. Try and get myself something going for the morning drinks and something to eat.
Yeah, thanks for
And
coming up, Dean. It's good to see
yeah,
you. Hey, Tommy.
always good to come over here and shed a bit of light on things, bro. Right?
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you came by. What's up, Mark? I'm glad I went live later.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too. I'm going to go back and watch Cax because he did a thing with Mark Devlin.
Who?
Mark Devlin.
I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
look that up.
have you heard of Mark Devlin?
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Okay, well, Jason from Cax interviewed him today, but I missed the bloody thing by 45 minutes.
Who
Pissed me
interviewed
off.
him? What's his name?
Jason from Archaics. I know people don't like
Oh,
him for one
Archaics.
reason or
Okay.
another.
I'm gonna
Okay, I
look
know
it up.
people don't like him for one reason or another, but he's doing interviews on people. He's done a few different people, and he's interviewed Mark Devlin, which I think is a great person to interview. He's going to interview. I'm pretty sure he's got a hell of a lineup of people that
I
he's
gotta
going to
have
do.
Soama interview me if you want. I've been
Oh,
procrastinating.
pardon me, I just
Soama.
farted. Pardon me, I just farted.
Beans. The more you eat, the more you toot.
God, sorry for that if anyone heard it, but yeah.
Everyone farts.
Yeah, I know, we all do it. I mean, I used to be a bloody one of those guys that hold it back because I didn't want to bloody embarrass myself or other people. But now I don't give a bloody fuck, you know. I mean, fuck, you got it
I
in
used to
there.
like farting in public loud when I was younger, and I would laugh. But now I don't, but
Yeah. Oh, well, it's part of your body's bloody network, and you got to let it out. Otherwise, you're bloody holding it in. You're going to bloody cause yourself problems, right?
Mark says the average person farts like 15 times a day.
Yeah, exactly, Mark. Good on you, Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off too. and go
Okay,
do a
well,
few
thanks
things
very much,
myself.
Chuck. And hey, look, and
When,
if you can find that bloody thing about surface men, I'd be really bloody pleased to find that. Okay.
all right,
Okay.
I'll definitely
Thank you
look
very
for it.
much. If you just run across it, I know a lot of things pop up into our field just because we're thinking about them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll definitely look today when
I
I'm
love you,
looking through
bro. Take care.
Google.
And take care to everyone in the chat. Peace out. Much love. We're going to find the answers, and we're going to be ready for the fuckers when it happens, okay? Because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You can't live in fear all your life, or you'll be fucking. You would never get anywhere or do anything.
I'm
Okay?
ready to make them feel some fear.
Yep. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I reckon if you have got any understanding, these giants are vaginas, right? The Vestica Pisces or whatever you call it. That's the way back into this realm. If you're if you've got your smarts and and your Akashic record holds that information, when you come back, you'll already be ready for the fuckers, right? Or you don't get killed and you fucking got that information. I don't know how it's going to work, but I do definitely feel that the only way back into this realm is through the vagina, through the Vestica Pisces, and that's what that's all about. It's showing us that that's the way in here, right?
I'm gonna check that channel out, Eyes Wide Shut. I already subbed to it. So peace to everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
I hope everyone has a great day, and I'll see
Later.
you guys tomorrow or next day or whenever. And thanks again, Dean, for coming up.
You're welcome, bro.
Vagina does matter. Vagina, the vagina
Yeah.
finder,
Yeah.
the vagina miner. Oh, I meant like mining coal. Damn, that didn't
Yeah.
sound right. I thought twice. I'm like vagina miner. Oh my god, why'd I say that? That didn't sound right at all, right?
No, didn't. Never mind, mate. Don't worry about it, bro. If anybody's in their feelers with this stuff, I'm sorry, you're stuck, bro. Right. Anyway, I'll catch you later.
Peace, everyone.